Hello everyone and welcome to episode 6 of the It's Thugwig Nasty podcast. Thank you all for taking time out of your day to listen to me talk into a microphone while wearing sweatpants. You are legendary. So far, all the feedback I've received has been very positive. I'm happy that I can provide value in my own way to my listeners. If you have any questions you would like answered or feedback, message me on Twitter or Instagram at It's Thugwig Nasty. If you have any constructive criticism, send it my way as well. The only thing I don't want you sending me is toxicity. And that's kind of the beginning of our discussion today. Toxicity is everywhere, not just in the gaming community, but literally everywhere. Starting to become a standard thing every week here, where it's not just gaming, it's everything. But people love to be keyboard warriors. Keyboard warriors, ho! Cozy in their basements, they hop on Twitter, they hop on Facebook, they hop on Instagram, they find someone talking about something, anything really, positive or negative, and then they proceed on giving their 2 cents. Not to say they do not have a valuable opinion, but toxic people tend to not understand when they should or should not voice their opinions. Toxic people just really they want everybody to agree with their opinions or everyone to have the same opinions as them. Like their opinions are gold. And this is the gold standard of opinions right here. I have them packaged up for you. I need you to go over points 1, 2, 3, and 4 and get back to me with the proper opinions so that you... Where am I going with this? Anyways, yeah, so they think that you guys should all share the same opinions as them. So, they get very, very passionate about some of these things. But sometimes the best thing you can do is to just not react to the situation. If by putting something out there, you might be hurting someone else's feelings or deliberately bringing other people down, when it's not going to serve any purpose, you're not going out there trying to inform people. It's like, well, no, listen, I think you're wrong about this, and this is why, this. And you can have a decent conversation like that. But no, these people go out there, start taking cheap shots, talking about things that don't even matter, and it's ridiculous. But here's the thing, you have the ability to choose how you react. You can react emotionally and lose your shit like a freaking Hulk, or you can react rationally and decide whether or not you're going to actually involve yourself in the conversation, or if your input actually makes a positive outcome. So who knows where this toxicity is coming from, right? Is it something they're drinking? Whatever they're drinking, I don't want any of that. If it's gonna make me toxic, I want to stay positive. Give me some of the positive water with the positive electrolytes and positive this and that. I will take the positive stuff. Anyways, but where's the toxicity coming from? It's got to be coming from somewhere deep inside. Some people just lash out. They have negative things or things going wrong in their life and all that stuff. And sometimes, they're hurting or in pain and they want to take it out on somebody else. It's going to make them feel better. It won't ever. But it happens more times than not that people lash out like that. And of course, there's the other side of things. Some people are just assholes. Some people want to troll. They're bridge trolls that live under the negativity bridge, and they want to just spread everything out there to make sure everybody is not having a good day. It's just ridiculous. If you're not having a good day, take that upon yourself to figure out how you can better yourself. Don't take it out on others to bring everybody else down. What's the saying? There's 2 ways to have the tallest building. You can either build the tallest building, or you can knock everyone else's down. Don't be the person knocking everybody else's down. This isn't a game of Rampage. And if you think Rampage is just a movie, you're way too young. Maybe it is easier to be negative. There's got to be a reason there's so many people that are negative out there. Is it actually easier to be negative? I feel that maybe we have more negative tendencies, maybe because of the news or all the negativity on the social media platforms that we're on. Maybe, because that stuff can wear on you. If you're exposed to that stuff all the time, there's a pretty good chance you're going to start becoming negative. That's the other thing you'll hear a lot, is that you're the accumulation of your closest 5 people. So the 5 people that you spend the most time with, you tend to be, an average of those people. So if you have 4 people that are super toxic and 1 person that's positive, chances are good that you're going to become a pretty negative, kind of toxic person. It is what it is. So surround yourself with people that are more positive, and that'll probably go a long way. Now, negativity doesn't always, reveal itself on the outside. Like, it's not always projected out of one's body onto the internet or onto other people or whatever. I mean, a lot of times the negativity is all internal, and it's, has to do with our self-talk. So like negative self-talk, this is a very common thing with people. And I mean, I do it as well. I try to catch myself when I'm doing it, but if I make a mistake, internally tell myself, man, you're dumb. Why would you do that? Or you're stupid. You know better. You should have done this, or you should have done that. It's those voices talking to you internally. But we have to get over that negative self-talk and beating ourselves up for making mistakes and all of that kind of stuff. We have to, like, that's step 1. You can't just become positive. First, you need to be able to turn yourself around. So if you're always being negative to yourself and not loving yourself internally, there's no way in hell you're gonna project positivity out into the world while hating yourself. So you need to start from the beginning. Catch yourself when you're being mean to yourself, basically. Allow yourself to make mistakes. You're human. We learn from our mistakes. Number 1, if it's something that you continuously do over and over and over again, then maybe you need to take some other form of action to correct those things. Some corrective steps. A 5-point plan, if you will. But for the most part, we make mistakes. We learn from those mistakes. We're human. That's just how it is. So start there. Try to catch yourself when you're putting yourself down, and then allow yourself to make the mistakes and talk to yourself in a more positive way. So if you make a mistake, don't call yourself dumb, stupid, I screwed this up. Instead, if you make a mistake, say, oh man, I should have known better. But you know what? I'll make sure I get it right the next time. Or I'm glad this happened, made the mistake, so I didn't make it when it really matters. Something like that. I don't know. So we need to start talking more positively to our inner self before we try to take on the rest of the world. So once we've learned to be more positive to ourselves and love ourselves more, then we can start externally spewing out the positivity, rainbows from our asses. Not really. We don't have to get that crazy, but once you truly love yourself and can honestly say that you're, not mean to yourself, then we can start being more positive externally. I'm not saying the whole world is going to be perfect and everything you're ever gonna do is gonna be gumdrops and jelly beans and happiness and flowers. That's not how it is. But keeping the right attitude and mindset towards anything that happens in your life can really change your view of it. It'll change that world view. If there's something that typically upsets you or whatever, sometimes you just need to look at it. It's like, okay, so why is this thing upsetting me? What is causing this thing to get me all angry and really get emotional about this stuff? Sometimes when you really think it out, sometimes you realize that it doesn't really even matter. And getting upset and angry over these things isn't going to help you, isn't going to help anybody else, and especially not acting out because of these things. It's really not going to benefit you, and then it's just a downward spiral. Definitely rationalize these things. Look at these things that you feel are making you negative or toxic, and really try to break them down. So try this. The next time you get angry at something or someone, just take a second, take a deep breath, and think about why that thing irked you, and then carry on. But sometimes just taking that breath and taking a second instead of reacting immediately is all you need to kind of diffuse the situation a little bit. Maybe you won't say something you don't want to say or do something you don't want to do if you just give yourself a second and breathe. And speaking of breathing, a lot of people use things like meditation to calm themselves. But again, that goes back to breathing and taking a moment and recentering yourself. That's a great way to give yourself time to just be with yourself instead of always being bombarded by all this negativity. So you can recenter yourself. There's so many different ways to practice meditation. I just use breathing practices. I try not to think about other things. I try to just let my mind go blank and focus on my breathing and just breathe. And sometimes that's really enough to calm down, your system, and you can kind of get a fresh look on things after you do something like that. So a lot of people use meditation. Like I said a bit earlier, another positive thing is the people around you. Make sure that you associate yourself with more positive people. If there's people in your life that are just consistently negative, you need to nicely, remove yourself from those people that are basically draining your positive lifeblood and just injecting you with toxic, shots of toxicity. I don't know. But, it's really important that you have people that are supportive and positive around you if you truly want to be more positive. And you got to understand that being positive and stuff is a practice. It's a muscle that you basically have to work out. Sometimes you need to just force yourself to be positive, smile more, say, compliment people, be nice to people. Sometimes, just brightening other people's days by, being a little bit nicer than you typically would, or giving them a smile or a wave or whatever, can make all the difference in someone's day. So think about that. Get out there and be more positive, guys. I know personally what I like to do, and I do this a lot nowadays, is just even on Twitter or something. I'll get on there, and then my whole goal is to just put out a bunch of positive posts, on other people's artwork or, other things that they're saying, people that aren't being negative. I'm not going to call them out on it or anything like that, but I'm not saying be fake and just start saying, oh, nice job. Oh, that's great. Oh, you're cool. Haha, sweet. I'm literally looking through stuff, and if I see someone's artwork, I'm not just going to say, oh, that's cool. I'll like it. And then I'll say something like, oh, I really like how you drew this or that. I'll point out something that they did, specifically, because people read that and they appreciate that, and it makes them happy, and it might keep them moving on their path. So help others out, man. You never know how you're going to affect other people, and, the positivity that, that positivity that you're giving them, maybe they'll push you off on somebody else. And it's just like toxicity, but the opposite. So, when there's too many people around you being toxic, you become toxic. But if you start being more positive and then, influence others to be more positive, and they become more positive and influence others to be more positive, then now you're spreading positivity, but greater, more fulfilling things happen when more people are positive. So let's make that our goal, guys. All of us, let's try to be more positive, do our best. And just, definitely limit the negativity, definitely get rid of the toxicity. So let's push to be more positive and help others be more positive too. Can you do that? Can ya? Huh? So now it's time for the LWR. So last week, the poll was Pirates versus Ninjas. No contest. It's ninjas. Everybody loves ninjas. Yeah. Or do they even make noises? They're super silent and stealth-like. Anyways, so this week we acquired 6 more follows, putting us up to 54, over last week. Is that 6? Is that 5? I don't remember what I was at. I think I was at 49, so maybe 5. I can't add. We're more than halfway to 100 though, so that's great. This week I streamed 4 times. We had Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and 2 on Saturday. I mean, they were shorter streams, so I kind of count that as one of the 4 times. Primarily Destiny streams, but I did run 1 test on Saturday. So Saturday we started the day playing Destiny, which displayed the typical metrics that I've been seeing week over week so far on Saturdays during the midday. But then the second stream was, just a little bit after that on Saturday, and we played Dead Cells, which is a retro type side scroller, and the numbers were bad, like Twitch numbers bad. It was bad. So, got a bit discouraged, I guess. It's looking like most of the little quote unquote success that I've had, is due to more the lack of streamers playing Destiny on Facebook Live, which kind of sucks, I guess I was really hoping there wouldn't be such a drop off switching games, like people would still be directed towards the channel. But who knows how it really works? I'm not sure. So mainly because I am no Destiny pro, I just want to be a casual player, having fun with a community that wants to have fun and does not need to be, a pro player to be successful, that kind of thing, because I'm never going to be a pro player. I also changed all my social media names and usernames to it's ThugWigNasty, no underscore. So that way it's easier to search for, when you're trying to look for it, and it's easier to explain it to when people ask you what your where they can find you at. You're just saying it's ThugWigNasty, so it's easier to type that in. You don't have to explain it's ITS underscore ThugWigNasty. Now it's just ITS THUGWIGNASTY. So speak and spelled AEIO. But yeah, so I did that. So the plan for this week, we're gonna keep pushing towards our 100 follow goal on Facebook. Hopefully by the end of the year we get to those hundreds. It's looking good so far. I would like to boot up on Mixer like one day a week to see kind of how that feels. I know it's becoming saturated now that it's becoming a viable competitor to Twitch. And, Facebook's just so clunky sometimes, and it's a pain sometimes to get it working right. And I feel like it just doesn't have enough features on it, but obviously I'm sure it will get better in the future or maybe, better once you get into the Level Up program, but we're not there yet. So we're going to keep pushing for that, but we're going to try other things while this is kind of going on. So definitely kicking myself a little bit for ever quitting 2 years ago when I first made the switch to Mixer. Anyways, not going to be down about it. I need to focus on making good content and engaging and fun streams for people to hang out in. That's the priority, right? So anyways, we will be streaming another 3 to 4 times this week, as we have been for the last few weeks. I would like to work on some more stream elements, change the layout of the overlay a bit, mainly because all the little sliders and stuff that I had on there showing like follow me on Twitter, follow me on this and that, they all say it's underscore ThugWigNasty, and that means I have to go back into the After Effects files and change all this stuff over, and it's very time consuming. And if I want to make some tweaks right now, now's the time to do it before I mess with any of that stuff. So other than that, just standard stuff. Get the podcasts out, start working on the next podcast, get the visualizer on YouTube and standard content on Instagram, Twitter, or whatever. So yeah, so for this week's poll, guys, which would you pick? Totino's Pizza Rolls or Bagel Bites? I know my freezer was stuffed with these things growing up, so I'd like to see where you guys stand on which one would you pick. Zombie apocalypse, you got Totino's Pizza Rolls or Bagel Bites. Vote it up. Check it out on Facebook, it'll be there, and then I'll throw it up on Twitter for a week as well, so it'll be accumulation, and I will tell you about it next week on Monday. So, alright guys, thanks for listening. Episode 6. Be sure to stop by the broadcast this week. Keep an eye on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at It's ThugWigNasty now. No underscores. Appreciate all the follows, likes, and shares this week. Makes a huge difference. I will see you in the live broadcast this week, and if not, I will catch you next Monday on the next podcast. Have a great week, everybody. Peace.